A former WWE star wants you to know they weren't fired. The real reason for WWE's Netflix debut Raw booking. AEW has loads of money, which they're choosing to invest in tonally jarring new theme music, and more. I'm Ollie Davis, you're always defending Jam That Champion, and I welcome all and any challengers. And this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
With all the excitement and adverts every time you log into Netflix for Raw's streaming service debut on Monday, New Japan's biggest show of the year, WrestleKingdom, has kind of been lost in the shuffle. Because it's tomorrow! Even I keep forgetting that. And then the day after that, on Sunday morning, afternoon, or evening, depending where in the world you live, there is AEW's joint follow-up show with New Japan, Wrestle Dynasty, which will see Kenny "By God" Omega's first in-ring match since beating Ethan Page on the 5th of December episode of Collision in 2023. Ethan Page has been NXT champion since then. Omega will be wrestling New Japan's Gabe Kidd on the show, who has already publicly called out AEW for not promoting Wrestle Dynasty more in advance. And now, in an interview with Fightful, he somehow managed to call out the world. Now, Kidd uses quite a few cuss words here, so I've replaced all the F1s with the great Terry Funk. Funk anyone who is next up. Funk Kenny Omega. Funk his co-workers. Funk his boss. Not even his boss, his co-founder. Funk all of them. Funk the guy who is the WWE champion. Funk all of them. Funk every single one of them. I'm the one up in it. It's my year this year. Everyone likes to say that, then they don't do Sheamus. They win a little tag title on the indies. This is my year. Shut your funkin' mouth. This is my year. Funk Tony Khan as well, little bitch. Funk you. Cry more, pussy. All of you. Funk 'em. Funk me, he's angry. Perhaps it's because for, like, the 9th year in a row, New Japan is letting everyone's contracts expire again. Back at the start of 2016, WWE signed 4 of New Japan's top stars, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and Shinsuke Nakamura, all in one go, because New Japan contracts typically run from January to January. But don't worry, New Japan learned from this and quickly moved away from having multiple high-profile contracts expire all at the same time. In the same month, WWE runs a pay-per-view that is great for surprise entrants. Oh wait, no, I must have misread that. I meant, they still haven't changed anything 9 years later! Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes and Hangman Page all left together at the same time in 2019 to start AEW because their contracts expired in January, and Will Ospreay and Kazuchika Okada both left at the start of 2024 with the same timing. And this year, not only the TJP, one half of the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions Kevin Knight, and the funking aforementioned Gabe Kidd all have their contracts up right about now, Fightful have now added that Dave Finlay, the current IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion and leader of Kidd's War Dogs faction, also has their deal running out. Apparently, there are a huge number of contracts up in New Japan soon, but Fightful sources expect Finlay to remain with the company, and they'll start negotiations soon. How about do that last year, New Japan? But arguably, the most important New Japan contract of all has already run out. Since 2014, New Japan has been airing in the United States on AXS TV. This was a precursor to the promotion's boom in popularity. For the first time, they invested in consistent English language commentary, with announcers like Mauro Ranallo, Josh Barnett, Jim Ross, Kevin Kelly and Don Callis making what was widely considered to be the best wrestling in the world accessible to the English-speaking nations, and in a pre-AEW industry, arguably becoming the number 2 promotion to a very poorly booked WWE. New Japan left AXS in 2019 when the station was bought by Anthem Sports and Entertainment, who were the owners of TNA, which back then was called Impact. They pretty much bought the network so Impact had a place to air. New Japan returned to AXS in 2022 when both sides agreed to a new deal, which also started a new relationship with TNA. But following the Wrestling Observer's report that New Japan was now finished on AXS, Post Wrestling have received the following statement from the station. We will not be airing New Japan Pro Wrestling for the foreseeable future. Our agreement expired at the end of 2024, and we do not comment on the state of current or future agreements. This comes at the same time as TNA's working relationship with New Japan also seems to have ended. This time last year, the start of 2024, TNA and New Japan were going so far to sign wrestlers like Kushida to joint contracts. a way to band together and compete with the bigger WWE and AEW for talent. But then Anthem got rid of TNA's president Scott D'Amore, who was behind ideas like that, and the promotion got in a working relationship with WWE, which was kind of fun in the short term, but will likely end with WWE just taking TNA's top talent, like Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry. With the WWE relationship, TNA's partnership with New Japan, who are affiliated with AEW, was never going to last. Do you long for the glory days of TNA? Back when Kevin Nash was genuinely the funniest thing in wrestling, and Road Dogg and Billy Gunn tried to call out Vince McMahon, Triple H and Shawn Michaels for an actual shoot fight? Then you'll love our 20-hour-long 7-episode series on TNA's Samoa Joe vs. Kurt Angle rivalry from 2006 to 2008. The whole thing is available to watch right now on patreon.com/WrestleTalk, which coincidentally is the best way to support us here. That's patreon.com/WrestleTalk for that and loads more exclusive WrestleTalk videos, like the ongoing Monday Night War series right now between me and Luke. No disrespect, Wrestle Kingdom and/or Dynasty, but the biggest wrestling event of January is WWE Raw's debut on Netflix this coming Monday. The card currently has Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa for the Tribal Chiefdoms Ula Fala, Liv Morgan defending and most likely losing her Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley, Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso, and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. That's 4 pre-announced matches for a reported 3-hour show. It will also likely include several big in-ring segments, like an appearance from Cody Rhodes, something from John Cena, and Rock the Dwayne Johnson talking about how Red One was actually a success. Yes, it bombed at the box office, but look at the streaming minutes on Amazon Prime. Look at those rock-hard verticals. There's multiple of them! WrestleVote is reporting that WWE also originally planned for the final of the Women's Intercontinental title tournament to take place on the Netflix debut, but it has now been moved to a later episode. In order for the match to not get lost in the shuffle, it seems like WWE wants to get this title off and running in a big way, and felt as though having it mixed in with a show the size of Netflix premiere would not do that justice. Instead, the final of Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria, which will crown the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion, will take place on the second Netflix Raw episode on January 13th. With the Royal Rumble weirdly taking place in February this year, WWE appeared to be planning a stacked road to the road to WrestleMania. One rumored name to return between Monday's Netflix debut and the PLE is Becky Lynch, with WrestleVotes reporting Lynch's impending return will factor heavily into high-level WrestleMania plans as the road to Las Vegas begins. And Fightful Select is denying a rumor that John Cena's WWE return will be a swerve while he'll turn heel for his retirement year. Instead, WWE have planned very heavily to factor Cena into major plans throughout 2025. PW Insider claims this will involve Cena challenging Cody for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 41, but it's also rumored Cena could face Logan Paul there instead. Alexa Bliss has also teased her return, posting a picture of her walking out on a WWE entrance ramp. She's apparently been cleared to return for some time. Backstage name Bruce Pritchard, who is the company's executive director for creative writing and television, is also expected to return at tonight's episode of SmackDown. Pritchard has been on leave since last November for family and health reasons. And on screen, there's meant to be a soft, super shake-up mini-draft transfer portal to freshen up the Raw and SmackDown rosters for the new year. We'll have to wait and see what that means for the wrestlers, but PW Insider is already reporting the ring announcers will swap, with Lillian Garcia moving to SmackDown and Alicia Taylor going to Raw from the January 6th show. This further implies Raw will be the A show again, with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee being the brand's new commentators, while Joe Tessitore, Wade Barrett and Corey Graves will be a 3-man booth on SmackDown. But missing in all of this, sadly, is Baron Corbin, who announced on the 1st of November, "That's all she wrote, folks. Peace sign emoji. It's been real and I appreciate everyone who supported me." That was at the same time PW Insider reported WWE was releasing several wrestlers, which would also end up including Indy Hartwell and Tegan Knox. But now Corbin, whose real name is Thomas Pestock, has started the new year by announcing he is a free agent and he wasn't fired from WWE. "I'm officially no longer under contract since I was not fired. I was told they were not extending. So if you're making a horror movie, let me know. Ha 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 ha. New year, no contract. Let's see what we can create." He then responded to someone who called him a mid-carder. "Spent almost 3 years in the main event every night, dickhead." Or chalk that up as a draw. Those 3 years of Corbin in the main event were some of the worst years ever for WWE. He did finish on a great run with Bron Breakker in NXT though. Firing versus Corbin's situation is an important distinction to make. If Baron was released at the start of December, his 90-day non-compete clause would be in play, meaning he couldn't wrestle until February 1st. But because his contract simply wasn't renewed or extended, he can wrestle anywhere as soon as it's up, which appears to have been on New Year's Day. Which makes it very interesting that Corbin was reportedly backstage at AEW's World's End pay-per-view last Saturday. The AEW has a casino gauntlet match planned for next week's Dynamite, a stipulation perfect for shock debuts, and that the promotion currently has loads of money. The Wrestling Observer is reporting that now AEW's new media rights deal with Warner Bros. Discovery is underway, which includes Dynamite now being simulcast on their Max streaming platform. The promotion is receiving $3.6 million a week. As a result, there is expected to be a lot more money being spent and reinvested into the shows. This could be why AEW have oddly chosen the 1982 Pointer Sisters song I'm So Excited for Dynamite's opening new theme, and that they're bringing back Elton John's 1973 hit Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting for Collision. AEW have also brilliantly used Guns N' Roses licensed tracks for video packages recently. Remember that 20-hour, 7-episode epic series of me and Luke reviewing Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle's rivalry from TNA I mentioned earlier? Well, you can actually watch the first 4 hours of it for free by clicking the link in the video description below right now. Here's a clip.
Road Dogg's down, and I don't know, maybe he just tries to get up and falls back, but it looks to me like he's trying to do a kip up.
How many questions can we ask about what's going through the minds of BG James and Kip James?
Go back a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see that the first time.
Yeah, so you need
the
to-
referee helped him up.
Yeah. So it's when they do the double down.
Yeah, double down. Yeah, so it definitely wasn't a kip up. Here he goes. Oh! And now the referee comes over to him to help him up. And that's the hot tag.
Yeah. So, what does Shawn Michaels famously do?
Kip up.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's intentional.
It's an intentional. It's a shot at what Shawn Michaels does.
Oh. Oh, that's so lame. I don't know what's worse, that they did it or that I got confused by it. Because now you say it, of course.
Yeah. I mean, all the best like shots and references are ones that you have to explain.
The ones that look like you're bad at your job.
Yeah.